Liverpool drama is exploding, sack rumours, big mistakes, and transfer twists across the Premier League. If you want every major update explained clearly and fast, hit subscribe now and stay ahead. Liverpool boss Arne Slot may have just leaked FSG's stance on sacking him Liverpool manager. Arne Slot is under increasing pressure from the club's fans, having won just 5 of their last 18 Premier League matches. Arne Slot appears to have teased that Fenway Sports Group have no plans to sack him as Liverpool manager anytime soon. The Reds have won just 5 of their last 18 Premier League matches after a miserable 95th-minute defeat at Bournemouth on Saturday night. The reigning champions are winless in the league in 2026, despite facing 3 teams down the lower end of the table leads, Burnley and Bournemouth, with 2 of those matches at Anfield. Despite Liverpool performing better in the Champions League, where they are in a position to finish inside the top 8, the fanbase are losing faith in Slot. The Merseyside Giants are in a real fight to qualify for next season's Champions League and are a shadow of the side that won the league 12 months ago. Yet Slot's words from this week appear to suggest his superiors, including club owners FSG, do not intend to remove him from his position at least before the end of the season. Speaking to TNT before the midweek win at Marseille, Slot said, "Everyone at the club, me, ownership, sports directors, we know what it takes to make the next step in this transition phase. But sometimes a little bit of patience is needed in that as well." Those comments indicate that the club's hierarchy accept they have not given Slot the tools he needs to compete this season. The Reds have been hurt by injuries which have limited the Dutchman's ability to rotate, and he is also lacking certain player profiles, such as direct 1-versus-1 wingers. Yet strangely, Liverpool have shown no indication to utilise the January transfer window. They did not challenge Manchester City for either Antoine Semenyo or Mark Guéhi, despite having been interested in both players before this month. Joe Gomez's injury against Bournemouth leaves Virgil van Dijk as the only centre-back confirmed to be fit for the midweek European match against Karabakh. Ibrahima Konate is currently unavailable while he grieves the tragic death of his father. Slot made clear he felt forced into certain decisions with his team at Bournemouth due to injuries. He explained, "That's why I have to credit my players. If you go 2-0 down the way we did, again, we showed mentality and fitness to come back into the game against one of the fittest teams in the league. And they only have to play once a week, and of course, that helps. That is not an excuse, because a club like Liverpool is used to playing 3 times a week. But we mainly do this with the same players. And maybe last season that was a bit different. Last season, we did not have 3 long-term injuries as we have now. As you could see in our lineup, I decided not to play Hugo Ekitike. That was not because I didn't like him or he wasn't good against Marseille. It was simply because I only have one number 9 available for the upcoming weeks and months. He was out 2 weeks ago, and with so many games to play, you have to manage his minutes. I think for Jeremy Frimpong, it's safe to say the same. In the first half, he was getting things, and after half-time, I think I could see the energy running out of him a little bit as well, so the end result is you then play 2 players not in their favourite position with Wada, Endo and Dom. By the way, they did well, but it is the reality of this moment," he added on Milos Kerkez, who came off at half-time for Andy Robertson, who next week could join Tottenham. No, there was not an injury, and I wouldn't say it was tactical. It was obvious already before the game that it was not smart to play him another 90. There is a lot to be said about the players I constantly play, and I have to keep them fit. I have to manage their load. It was yesterday when the performance staff came to me and said if we would have had an extra day, he wouldn't have trained yesterday to recover a little bit more. So then you are always in a certain risk zone, and I already had to make a substitution in the first half, so that means if you leave him on and you take him out at 60 minutes, your second substitution is left. So that is why I decided to take him off at half-time, because it was always the intention to take him off somewhere in the second half. I did it now a little bit earlier, but despite recent performances and results, it appears unlikely Slot will be sacked anytime soon. That's despite the availability of club legend Xabi Alonso, who is a free agent after his dismissal at Real Madrid. Alonso was considered an option to replace Jurgen Klopp before Slot was appointed. Richard Hughes massive. Liverpool failure set to cost Arne Slot his job. The Reds started off the campaign as they ended the previous term. But from that point on, they've never really been in a consistent run of form. Granted, they have gone on a bit of an unbeaten run over the last couple of months, but since that's now been stopped thanks to their 3-2 defeat against Bournemouth on Saturday, it feels like the Anfield outfit are back to square one. Of course, there have been some games when Liverpool have met expectations and have proven why they won the Premier League last season, but more often than not, it feels like Arne Slot's men are a shadow of their former selves. But despite all of Slot's shortcomings, it's one of Richard Hughes' failures that could end up costing him his job. Growing belief. Man United first choice target will snub INEOS for Man City move. Elliot Anderson would snub the chance to move to Manchester United to join Manchester City, according to yet another source, as Red Devils CEO owners INEOS face a tough task of convincing the Nottingham Forest midfielder to move to Old Trafford in 2026. Team Talk's transfer correspondent Fraser Fletcher reported back in November 2025 that Man United had made Forest midfielder Anderson their main midfield target in 2026, a report subsequently backed up by The Athletic, who claimed on December 26 in midfield, Elliot Anderson is United's first choice target. It is very unlikely that Forest will sell Anderson in the January transfer window, given that they need the former Newcastle United midfielder to help cement their place in the Premier League for next season. However, a transfer away from the City ground in the summer of 2026 is very much possible, with Man United's City rivals, Manchester City, pressing ahead. Fletcher reported on January 12 that Man City have made contact with Anderson's camp and have informed them that they plan to formalise a bid for the Forest midfielder in the summer of 2026. Furthermore, our transfer correspondent, Dean Jones, reported on January 16 that Anderson is Man City's next big target, further fueling claims a move to City is high on his agenda. In a fresh update, the paper has now made a similar claim about Anderson, noting that he is very likely to snub the chance to move to Man United, who recently appointed Michael Carrick as their interim manager until the end of the season. To join Pep Guardiola's Man City, the reputable publication has reported that while Man United have the chance to sign Adam Wharton and Carlos Baleba from Crystal Palace and Brighton and Hove Albion, respectively, in the summer of 2026, there is a growing belief Anderson would snub United for a move to rivals Manchester City. Want more breaking transfer lines from original sources? Add Team Talk as a preferred source on Google to your favourites list for news you can trust. Man United face Adam Wharton and Carlos Baleba. Competition. Man United, though, are not going to find it easy to sign Wharton and or Baleba in the summer of 2026 either, while Fraser Fletcher has reported that Crystal Palace will sell Wharton at the end of the season. Sources have told us that Tottenham and Liverpool have the England international midfielder on their radar as well. Newcastle United and Aston Villa, too, are keeping tabs on the Palace midfielder, with the Spanish media claiming that Real Madrid are keen on Wharton as well. Fraser Fletcher has also reported interest from Liverpool and Tottenham in Baleba. Get the inside story first by joining our Team Talk Facebook channel to receive the latest breaking and exclusive news straight into your messenger inbox. Latest Man United transfer news. Cole Palmer links, midfielder deal. Meanwhile, transfer guru Fabrizio Romano has given his take on shock links between Chelsea attacking midfielder Cole Palmer and Manchester United, and while it looks as though United do have one green light over a deal, two sizable hurdles make a deal to bring Palmer to Old Trafford extremely problematic. Our transfer insider, Graham Bailey, has reported that Man United's aggressive push for a Croatian youngster has failed to come to fruition, and finally, a report has revealed how Man United feel about a potential deal for a Nigerian midfielder.